सो हे गाइस, दिस इज आयुष्मान बिस्वारी। और यार इस वीडियो में हम लोग कवर करेंगे अपना इंटरव्यू विद प्रतीक सिंह। यार अपने प्रतीक भैया आईबीएम, अमेरिकन एक्सप्रेस और स्लमबर्गर के इंटर्नशिप दे चुके हैं और वहां से इन सब की इंटर्नशिप कंप्लीट कर चुके हैं और अब अभी यार वो यहाँ से करंटली गुड़गांव में काम कर रहे हैं। तो बेसिकली इंटरव्यू में मैंने यहाँ से ये सारे एस्पेक्ट्स की उन लोग को यार कैसे इंटर्नशिप मिली, उन्होंने क्या क्या प्रिपरेशंस करी या फिर उन्होंने कौन से ईयर से अपनी इंटर्नशिप के लिए अप्लाई करना शुरू करा, वो सारे बेसिकली जितने भी प्रोसीजर्स हैं वो सारे मैंने इस वीडियो में कवर करे हैं और उनके साथ जो इंटरव्यू है वो मैंने कवर करा है। तो अपन डायरेक्टली जंप करते हैं इंटरव्यू पर।
So, Prateek, how you have been doing today?
I'm fine, Ayushman. How are you?
I'm also fine. So, what are you doing in such quarantine situation? Means sitting at home.
I am working from home right now as I am having an internship. So mostly I have to follow the office routines and work from home.
So basically, can you tell me something about yourself? Means what are the qualifications you have done? What are the internships you are doing currently right now?
So basically, first of all, I'm pursuing BTech in Information Technology from VIT Vellore,
Okay.
and I'm a final year student right now. Currently, I'm doing my internship at American Express in Gurgaon. I'm working on big data analytics and cross-platform application development there. In the
Yeah.
past, I have had experiences with IBM, where I worked remotely as an intern for around 8 months. So I had to develop the complete backend solution and deploy it to IBM Cloud for their application, which they were building to collect data for learning food habits of Indian people. The second internship that I had was in Schlumberger in Pune. So basically, Schlumberger is an oil and gas company, and it is like the biggest oil and gas company in the world. Around 52% of share it is having already.
Yeah.
There I had to work on deploying the monolithic architecture as a microservices architecture. So I worked on Dockers, then I worked on Kubernetes and Google Cloud.
Okay.
So these are my experiences. In college, I have been part of ACM. You may be knowing ACM is a student chapter in VIT.
Yeah, STM.
So I was a board member there also, like I was the webmaster there. So these are some of my experiences.
So can you take us through your preparations for the internships? Means how you grabbed it, in which year you grabbed it, and what were your basically the preparations for that?
Yes. So basically, my first internship in IBM, we received an email through our college. So we had to apply on that. And mostly it was on referral basis, the first
Okay.
internship. And as I was a part of ACM, so I had an upper hand there as ACM comes under site school. So there I got the recommendation from Dean of Site School, and then I got into IBM based on my resume. So he forwarded some resumes to IBM, and then they selected me on the basis of resume. Now, if you talk about the internship that I had in second year, so basically in Schlumberger, they conducted a test, and the test consisted of MCQs and one coding question was there in that. So after that, the people who qualified were like taken through a telephonic interview. After the telephonic interview, there was a technical round, and after the technical round, there was an HR round in Schlumberger. After that internship, when I came back, then we had placements started, and then we again have to sit in placements. And there, in American Express, the pattern was pretty much the same. You had MCQs, which consisted of aptitude, DBMS, OS questions. And then you had two coding questions in that. So after that, they had interviews, and I had 2 rounds of interview there. So basically, these were the steps. After that, I qualified and I came into American Express.
As you have mentioned about the internship at IBM, so at which year? Means in the third year or in the second year only you applied
So
for that?
I was in my second year at that time. And at the end of my second, I think when I was moving into third year, we had summer vacations after second year, right? So that time I did my internship in IBM. Then after third year, in third year summer vacations, I did my internship at Schlumberger, and now I'm doing a 6-month internship in Amex.
So can you tell that the projects which means are there any projects, certain kind of projects which help us to get us ace in the internships, or means is there any use of the projects what we are working upon in the college time?
Yes, basically you have some good courses in college which you like you have to take them in FFCS and then you have to complete those courses. So based upon your interest, you can select some of the subjects and whatever projects are there in that subject, you should do it seriously. Try to do it yourself and come up with some innovative idea or something. If you have good projects like around at least 3 to 4 good projects,
Yeah.
then you will have an upper hand when you go to the interviews. Talking about placements and internship, the most important part is to be prepared for DSA basically. So if you have a good knowledge of data structures and algorithms, then you will easily clear the first rounds. The second thing that is important is the knowledge of core subjects. So you should know operating systems, DBMS, and networks.
Yeah.
So if you are like thorough with these topics, then it will be easy for you to grab an internship.
Many of the people say that if we have grab an internship, means it's more important to grab an internship rather than finding a job, because in internship we can get a PPO also from that. So is it true or what?
Yes, actually, you have like companies prefer to give internship to students. So if you get an internship in your third year itself and it is a good company, then it is like a better situation. Because in internships, the companies will anyway know how you perform when you are an intern and then you will be converted. Grabbing a full-time offer gets difficult at times because like companies don't know how will you perform. So they
Yeah.
don't want to take risks. So I think getting internship is a bit easier than getting a full-time offer.
So according
So
to you, that
yeah,
internships are more important, means people should focus upon
yes.
internships in their second and third year.
Anyway, there is not much difference. If you are preparing for placements, you are anyway preparing for internships also. It is
Yeah.
good to get into a good company in the third year itself. So after that, if you are converted, you won't have to sit for placements and that gets easy for you.
And if, for example, if someone have got internship in any of the X companies and he has not got PPO, so how the internships help the students to for getting up an full-time offer for in the fourth year? Means do internships
Yes,
help? We are
yes. So placements, whenever companies come to interview you, there are some important points that they look for. First thing is your knowledge of DSA if you are going for SDE job. Second thing
yeah.
is they will look for projects, and third thing is they will look for whatever experiences you have had in the past. So if you did some good internships in the past, it will definitely help you there as you already have good experiences. Like especially in my case, I already did 2 internships, and they were like at good big corporates. So I had like an upper hand when it came to interviews. So that is the thing. If you have a good resume, basically, if you have some good projects, if you have done internships already in some good companies, you have some work experience, then they will take you not as someone who is a rookie. They will
Yeah.
take you someone who is a little bit experienced, maybe not as a professional, but a little bit experienced. So definitely this is very important. If you do some good internships, it will definitely help you. And students who don't have any experience, mostly they are asked more questions upon DSA and core subjects.
Yeah.
However, if you have an internship, then many companies are there who focus bit more on resumes. So you can get easily through those interviews, which are more about your resumes. And for
Yeah.
other companies like Amazon and all, they focus more on your DSA and the core subjects. And after that, if you qualify those rounds, then they will ask you something about resume. So anyway, it gives you a plus point to have some good internships on your resume.
As you have mentioned of the referrals, so can you tell that how the students can grab the referrals, means if they are not having contact, or through which means through LinkedIn, or through which through means how can they actually grab those referrals?
So in second year, getting an internship is like way more difficult because mostly in second year, companies won't come to your college to recruit students. So it
Yeah.
is on your own that you have to find some good internships. So you can go to LinkedIn, uh, and you can search for some startups. Mostly second year students do internships in startups, but if you get a chance in corporate, then it is good. So you have to find some connections on LinkedIn, mostly on LinkedIn, or you can uh, ask your professors also if they have some contacts. So in this way, in fact, even if you are a part of some student chapter in VIT, and if it is a good chapter, you can go and ask your seniors if they have any contacts. And this way you can get an internship through referral. Mostly second year internships people get through referrals because companies don't look for interns from second year. So they look interns mostly from third year. So
So
now,
as
yeah.
yeah, you will.
Yeah. So also most of the companies now are changing their policies of not taking full-time students. So they mostly take interns and then they convert them on the basis of their performance. So
Okay.
if you get an internship in third year, then it will be like better for you. Because
Yeah.
in fourth year also, if you are going for internship, then it gets a little difficult to like go for
Yeah.
internship in fourth year, and you are uncertain because after that you are not going to come back to college and sit for placements.
Yeah.
So
So during
yes,
your placement time, during your internship, so it was your on-field or off-field, means you were working from home during the internship or in the company?
in IBM when I was interning, I had to work remotely. So I was working from my laptop only from wherever I was.
Yeah.
And in Schlumberger, I was working for around 2 months in Pune in their office. And now I'm working in Gurgaon in Amex office.
Okay. So as you have told that the we can get referrals and all through connections through our seniors, or if means like we are in the VIT, so we can easily get those referrals from our seniors or their connections. But can you tell that if the students are from tier 3, tier 4 colleges, so how can they actually approach for the internships? Means
Uh,
many companies are not available there.
yes. First of all, you should have a good LinkedIn profile.
Okay.
So if you have a good LinkedIn profile, you have had done some good projects, and then after doing, you can go on LinkedIn and search for jobs. So there you can see a lot of options where companies are hiring interns, maybe for 2 months or maybe for 6 months. So you can go and apply there, and especially if you're going for some startups, there is a website called angel.co.
Okay.
So there also you can go and apply. So this is the way you can do. Otherwise, if you have strong connections on LinkedIn, if you build some good connections on LinkedIn, so you can ask the people there for referral itself.
Yeah.
So this is what they can do.
So basically, at the end, what would be your advice for the younger aspirants who are means basically in the computer science or IT branch in second year, third year? What would be your advice to them? Means on what aspects do
I
they
would,
work?
yeah. So I would advise them like first of all, you should have some good projects, at least not if not many, at least 2 or 3 projects you should have done by yourself, and you should know the in and out of that project, and then it should be like fairly complex one, like not so easy type of project. So after you had done some projects, you should focus more on building your DSA knowledge. So you should practice from Geeks for Geeks, Lead Code. And the third thing is you have to have the knowledge of core subjects. So that is operating systems, DBMS, and networks. So you have to be thorough with these topics. And the most important part of all this is having a good knowledge of DSA. So if you have a good knowledge of DSA, it will be very easy for you to crack through any of the interviews or any of the first rounds
Okay.
when you
How
are
important
going
is
for internships.
actually the college percentage? Means the CGPA what we are getting. How important is that for grabbing any internship or the full-time offer?
Yes, so CGPA in VIT is actually very important. You should at least have a CGPA of 8.5 and above, because otherwise you won't get the opportunity to sit in many companies. So yes, CGPA is a very important criteria. If you are a 9 pointer, then it's very good. You will be sitting for mostly, I think, 98 to 99% of the companies. But if you have less CGPA also, you should at least have it 8.5 plus, so that you can get the opportunity to sit in the companies. So
Yeah.
this is very important.
So basically means the college performance is also important rather than all these subjects when we are
Yes.
working upon the projects and all
So
that.
CGPA is basically the cutoff criteria for you to sit for placements. All right. So if you don't have CGPA, you won't be able to sit for placements. If you don't
Yeah.
have a good CGPA, you won't be able to sit for any of the companies. So then, like, even if you know some tech stack, good tech stack, if you have knowledge of DSA, it won't be working for you, because
Okay.
how will you go there if you are not able to sit in the placement itself? So that
Yeah.
is important.
Many of the students also find tough in the coding section. Means I too also find difficulty in coding section because I'm not from a coding background because I didn't took CS in 11th or 12th. Means my PE was the optional subject. So how do you advise them that how can we tackle that situation?
Uh, so you should practice as much as possible, mostly from Geeks or Geeks if you want to go for placements. There are people who are like interested in competitive coding, so they do a lot of coding on Code Chef, Code Forces, etc. But you don't know, like you don't need to be that much skilled for sitting in placements. So if you have done like good amount of questions on Geeks, if you had practiced as much
Yeah.
as do practice as much as possible, and like coding is something you won't be very like professional in, even if you practice for like 1 or 2 years. So it takes time. First of all, you need to be patient, because in the starting you won't be able to solve many questions, but once
Yeah.
you start solving, then you will with practice you will be able to like get the logic of how to solve any of the questions.
Yeah,
So
because it
in
happens
placements
from
also,
with me
yeah.
also that I find a bit difficult in coding section and all that means studying the algorithm and basically applying that.
So first of all, if you had practiced a good number of questions, then if any question comes in the coding section while you sit in placements, if you had solved such kind of questions or any similar problem to that, you will easily like recall, okay, I did solve it through this method, and then you can do something about it. If the
Yeah.
question is completely new, you won't be able to solve it anyway.
Yeah.
So the time is limited, right? You cannot spend 1 or 2 days on that question if it is completely new. So you need to be like you need to practice as much as possible. You need to be like thorough with as many questions as possible. You need to go through as many questions as possible, and then you
Yeah.
will slowly build a understanding of how to approach any question. What logic should you follow? So it takes patience, it takes time, and it takes practice.
So thank you for your valuable time. I think that many of the students will have an idea by once what advice you have given to them. So I think many of them will be helped from it.
Yeah.
So thanks for the interview.
Thank you.
Thank you.
सर अपना इंटरव्यू यहीं पर एंड होता है। मुझे लगता है कि तुम लोग को काफी सारी इन्फॉर्मेशन मिली होगी। बेसिकली यार इंटरव्यू लेने का मेरा मोटो यही था, क्योंकि यार बहुत सारे बच्चों को के पास स्किल्स होते भी हैं, लेकिन उनको बेसिकली प्रोसीजर्स पता नहीं होता है कि यार मुझे क्या क्या करना चाहिए इंटर्नशिप के लिए, या क्या क्या इतनी जो बड़ी कंपनीज हैं, जो तीनों कंपनीज थी, आईबीएम, अमेरिकन एक्सप्रेस और स्लमबर्गर, तीनों यार यहाँ से वर्ल्ड की बिगेस्ट कंपनीज में आती है। मतलब यहाँ से फोर्ब्स की अंडर 50 के अंदर कंपनीज आती हैं, तो यार तीनों वन ऑफ दी बिगेस्ट कंपनीज है, और तीनों अपन के अगर पैकेज लग जाता है तो उसको बेसिकली सुपर ड्रीम पैकेज बोलते हैं, क्योंकि यार यहाँ से तीनों अच्छा पे करती हैं। तो बस इसी मोटो से मैंने उनका इंटरव्यू लिया था। तो अपनी वीडियो यहीं पे एंड होती है, और मैं ऐसे तुम लोगों को बोलूंगा कि सब्सक्राइब करो चैनल को, क्योंकि आने वाले टाइम में ऐसे बहुत सारे इंटरव्यूज मैं लेने वाला हूँ विद माइक्रोसॉफ्ट, पेपाल, गूगल, एप्पल, फेसबुक, सबके साथ, क्योंकि मैंने सबके साथ अब कनेक्शन कर लिया, उन लोग से बात भी कर लिया, उन्होंने हाँ भी कर दिया मुझे। तो यार आने वाले टाइम में अगर तुम लोग को इंटर्नशिप चाहिए तो बेसिकली अब तुम सीधा सीधा इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट से पूछ सकते हो। मतलब जो इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट का वीडियो देख सकते हो कि जैसे जब मैं उनके साथ इंटरव्यू करूंगा कि बेसिकली उन्होंने क्या क्या फॉलो किया था, उनके क्या क्या प्रोसीजर थे कि उन लोग को इंटर्नशिप मिल गई और बाकी बच्चों को क्या क्यों नहीं मिली। मतलब बेसिकली उन्होंने उनको किस चीज का एज मिल गया। तो ये सब चीजें अपन कवर करेंगे आने वाले वीडियोस में। इसलिए मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि आने वाली वीडियोस और भी इंपॉर्टेंट होने वाली है, क्योंकि जो लोग अटेम्प्ट कर रहे हैं अपने इंटर्नशिप्स के लिए, जो भी कोशिश कर रहे हैं समर इंटर्नशिप या विंटर इंटर्नशिप, तो उन लोग के लिए जरूर हेल्पफुल होगी वीडियोस। ठीक है, सो दैट्स ऑल फ्रॉम दिस वीडियो, बाय।